So the last we talked about this contraption, I had a general outline and some napkin sketches, and I believe Steve asked for a little more direction to go along with my bid so that he could be a little more prepared as he made the proposal to upper management. This is an attempt at that. It's not. I don't have the magnets modeled. I don't have hoses. I don't have wiring. I don't have even the triggers, the pull mechanism modeled in this version, but I think it gets the point across good enough to hopefully get a purchase order. I envision it like this: an operator would take the guard off of a stand. The stand would be the emergency stop for the system. By placing the guard on the tub, he would engage magnets that would start the cycle. It would only do one cycle per magnet engagement. So after the tub was deburred and sanded and they were ready to put the next tub on, they would take this off, put it on some corresponding magnets on a stand over here so it doesn't get lost, and remove the tub. So let me do that right now. These pieces here, I keep talking to Bill about as being a buck. They would be a wood form. I probably used some plywood for this. I did not model the base plywood. I would have to have some kind of flange at the top of this steel post that mounts to a wood base that ties this whole thing together. But I didn't model that. It only made it harder to see the drills and what they're doing. One of the things we talked about was how many ranges of freedom you want to give the operator. Basically, the only range of freedom that they've got in this version is 12 inches of motion in the stand itself, so that they can put it wherever they feel comfortable with as they're deburring. And it's not a very fast motion. This actuator is a McMaster car component. It doesn't move quickly, so it's not intended, this actuator here is not intended to move repeatedly all day long as they, maybe they want to deburr the bottom edge and then they want to raise it and then they want to deburr the top edge and they want to lower it. That wasn't the intent. I was really just trying to make the table essentially adjustable so that they're comfortable. So what I worked on yesterday was I did finish the model for how the drills would work. I imagine that each one of the drills would be a cordless drill. First of all, I would remove the battery and replace it with a DC power supply. And the reason for this is that DC driven drills they have an immediate stop. If the e-stop was pushed, that would immediately stop the hole saw from spinning. I didn't like the idea of a corded drill coasting to a stop. And a pneumatic drill would coast to a stop as well, but it also would be consume considerably more air. So for efficiency's sake, I chose an electric drill. That was Bill's recommendation. And then for safety's sake, I chose a DC drill. So as you can see, I've got the batteries removed. I would wire directly to the terminals on each one of these drills. This drill is a generic model online. It's called an edge drill. What I did was I scaled it in a couple of different directions until it matched up very closely with a Makita drill. I use a Makita drill personally. I've had it for years. I know it's very robust, and it's very cheap. So each one of these drills would only cost $100. And then basically, as the magnets were engaged, when the guard was placed on there, the air cylinders are retracting. So when they're fully extended, that is a spring that's fully extending them. Again, for safety's sake partially, but also because I wanted to control the force. And with this method, with the spring to extend cylinder, I'm using the spring to counteract some of the pneumatic force. And so I can use a larger cylinder for stability's sake without having so much force that we're just pushing the tub off of the buck every time. So there's two components to that. I would control the speed of the cylinders and control the force to prevent the tub from moving and let the saw do its job. So these are spring extend cylinders. And that the other reason for that is the safety's sake. When you hit the emergency stop, if anything removes power from this machine, those saws are going to retract every time. And so the way that this motion would work is that the two cylinders would, all four cylinders would get air at the same time and would come out and push on the tub. And then I would control where the hole is placed by where we bolt these aluminum cross members to the wood buck, right? So these are sort of two independent control modules, and if we got a different tub or for whatever reason we want to change the position, then you're just a couple of water jetted pieces of plywood away from putting those in a different position. Excuse me. So I think that it gives you a pretty good idea, and I will send you the link to the model so that you can manipulate it yourself. Let me know if you have any other questions. I think that gives you a pretty good idea of what I'm thinking. Thank you.